Hi, this is David. In the last few videos, we've been talking about Azure Monitor and Application Insights. These tools will store data by default for 90 days. You may want to archive it for longer periods of time. You may want to push it to a workspace. There are some settings, some diagnostic settings you can do with that data when it comes in. I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. The first thing we need to do is to log into our Azure portal, which I've done right here, and then navigate to the Azure Monitor. I can just type in Monitor and find it that way. And then we'll go down to the applications. And I showed you in an earlier video how to create an application. I created one called GCast App Insights. It's right here. And there's a bunch of options here. Where I want to go is underneath monitoring. I want to find diagnostic settings right here. I don't have any yet. You can see there's no diagnostic settings to find. So I will click on this button right here, Add Diagnostic Setting. And this brings up a dialog. First thing I need to do is to give it a name. I'll just call this GCast Diag Settings. And you can create multiple of these. I think there's a maximum of 5 that you can add because you might want to have different rules for different sets of data. And you can see on the left are the different sets of data like availability, results, and browser timings. This list will be different depending upon the services in that application. These happen to be the ones for an app service. And also the metrics right here. Sometimes it's broken out more than that, or you can say all metrics right here. In some services, you actually have a little bit more discrete breaking out of what kind of metrics you can do there. So I can do that. I can select all logs if I want to, or I can turn that off and just say I only want these certain ones right here. It really depends upon what your use case is. And then we have a couple of things here that we can do here. I'll start with, I'm not going to show you the demo of this, but you can stream to an event hub. And the reason I can't show it to you is because I don't have event hub set up. But essentially, this is if you want some workflow is information gets logged in, you can send it off to an event hub and something else can pick it up and act on that and do something more complex with it, like running a complex workflow for it. You could also send it to a third-party solution. So if you want to send this off to Splunk, for example, and have them do that, have that do your diagnostics. That's where you do this here. You have to register that. I don't have those set up in here, so I can't really show you the demo, but I can show you these other ones here. The first one is to send to a log analytics workspace. And you'll have to have this set up ahead of time. But if I send this to a workspace, then I can run queries on it using KQL. I have also have some videos on how to do KQL. It's Kusto Query Language. These workspaces store data in the Azure Data Explorer database, sometimes called ADX. So you can do that. You can also archive it. So after 90 days, maybe you want to keep it longer than 90 days, and that might make sense. Maybe you want to archive it. You'll have to select a storage account. And again, you'll have to have that storage account set up in advance, but you could do that here, and then it'll move these things into blob storage. And when you're done, you have everything set the way you want it to. Click on Save. And that will configure your settings. It's all set right there. And if I wanted to, you notice I only did these 3 categories. If I wanted to, that's listed here. I could add a second one and say there are different rules that I have for these right here. Maybe that one I don't want to send it to archive it, but I do want to send it to a workspace, something like that. So in this video, I've showed you how to configure diagnostic settings for Azure monitoring, in particular, archiving to a storage account and sending to log analytics workspace. This is David. Thank you for watching.